Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me for this segment, we have Eric Elfman, CEO of Onit, to discuss how legal has a golden opportunity to evolve as the image of a protector into a business that has proven positive impact across functions by leveraging technology. Eric, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thank you for having me.
What's going on with the legal tech space right now? What has its evolution been like?
Yeah, it started about 25 years ago in the late 90s. Digital transformation finally started taking hold in the legal industry, really legal departments of corporations. State-of-the-art invoicing at that time was a bill from a law firm that had one line for services rendered $450,000. So compared to the rest of the organization, a total lack of transparency about the underlying services. And you layer on top of that the inherent disincentive to encourage efficiencies on an industry that bills by the hour. So 25 years ago, this evolution towards digital transformation started. I would argue we're still only 1 or 2 degrees to the right of where we were, but there's a lot about the last 2 years that has increased the trajectory of that transformation.
Yeah, interesting. A couple movies have been made on how legal firms are billing their customers and what that looks like. How has the slowdown in the economy impacted the legal tech industry?
Well, look, like every industry, if you're buying big software, 6-7 figure software, budgets are getting double and triple checked right now. And so we are absolutely seeing that no differently than we saw in March of 2020 when COVID hit in 2008 and in 2001. And so this is a movie we have seen before. At the end of the day, these legal departments still have to continue their transformation journey because still 95% of billings by law firms, almost $100 billion a year, is by the hour, right? Again, which is just inherently inefficient. And so the competing thing that's occurred is COVID. When these lawyers and legal departments all went home in March and kind of never came back, it really helped them understand the need for workflow and collaboration tools in ways that they weren't already going to think about. And so workflow, machine learning, natural language processing, all of these have risen to the top of the list of what corporate legal departments think they need. So it's been good overall for the industry. Yes, headwinds from the economy. I think they balance out. We're going to continue to grow at a faster pace.
So when you look ahead to 2023, what do you expect from the legal tech space? Because it sounds to me, if you were to digitize it, it's more efficient, certainly cost savings, right? I mean, those billions of hours and dollars spent seem to be incredibly inefficient in my mind. So how do you think this starts to transform in 2023 and beyond?
Yeah, you know what it doesn't appear is going to happen is that we're going to transform the billing by the hour, right? One of the first articles I wrote 25 years ago, fresh out of business school, was lawyers are vendors too. Why don't we think of them more like vendors and come up with better financial relationships in the billable hour? As I said earlier, still 95% of bills are the billable hour. So what can we do? I think we have technology and artificial intelligence, but more practically machine learning, natural language processing, where we are applying it to look at the invoices and the contracts that are flowing through the corporation to find our own efficiencies for our corporate legal departments. And so I think we're able to dig deeper into the data, not using people, but using technology. You know, for instance, contracts that flow into corporations. Why use a junior attorney to do a first level review when all they're really doing is bringing it into compliance with a playbook that is already written? Technology can do that first layer of work. So the first thing we can do is make our corporate legal department customers more efficient through the use of technology. That will eventually absolutely flow into the relationship with the outside counsel as well.
Let's talk about Onit more specifically. What solutions are you providing? Where do you fit within the legal ecosystem?
Yeah, look, we have about 21 products that we sell into corporate legal departments. We have 3,000 legal departments that use Onit technology. And these are solutions for small legal departments all the way to the biggest legal departments on the earth. It's all about inefficient workflows, inefficient collaboration. You think about lawyers, they're like all knowledge workers, just like you and I, where despite all of the enterprise software, $500 billion bought of enterprise software every year, the average knowledge worker, including lawyers, still turns to Microsoft Office to do their job. They collaborate over email. They track their things in spreadsheets. And so what Onit does is it tries to move work and work product out of email into a more efficient tracking system. Because when email is the world's largest workflow platform, it's also the world's largest knowledge management platform. And it is hard to pull data out of old emails, especially if someone leaves an organization. And so Onit is all about bringing workflow and collaborative tools to legal departments to pull the work out of email, to pull the work out of Word and Excel, and pull it into a better tracking system that is building the knowledge for the organization.
So Eric, let me ask you this, a couple questions here. Will this change the model for the legal industry? And then second to that, you had mentioned earlier, first-year associates, they kind of go through the first line of combing through contracts and so forth, and a lot of that can be alleviated by leveraging technology and machine learning to go through that. Isn't that part of their training and what they do?
It is, and the last thing Onit or any technology like us is going to do is replace lawyers. And so we like to say machine learning, AI, technology is not going to replace lawyers, but lawyers who use AI and technology better are going to replace lawyers who don't. And so really what we're trying to do is help lawyers spend less time on administrative tasks or the friction of practicing law, and help them practice law. Reading a playbook of a contract and typing the edits in the other agreement, that's not practicing law. That's just an administrative task. So all we're trying to do is elevate the time these attorneys actually spend practicing law.
It's really interesting because you could see the parallel with what we see, how financial advisors are leveraging technologies such as that, where, you know what, instead of spending so much time doing this admin work, spend your time, on the markets, talking to your clients, managing the portfolios and so forth. So it sounds like there's a parallel there to make that comparison.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, you asked if it's going to change the relationship with the law firms. I don't think so. You see law firm consolidation, that there are less probably law firms out there today. The spend continues to go up 5 or 10% every year. So I don't think the law firms are at risk. However, technology like Onit does let our corporate legal departments move more work in-house where perhaps it can be done more efficiently. But at the end of the day, outside legal fees are going to go up 5 to 10% every year, just like clockwork.
All right, Eric, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.